Now, Super Mario Galaxy is one of the classic 3D Super Mario games released by Nintendo for the Wii. Now, this game was quite revolutionary for its time, introducing an entire space setting and working a lot with gravity, as well as introducing some motion control stuff on the side. However, while it certainly changed the gaming landscape, there were also a bunch of things that they were working on during development that never really made it into the game. Sure, they're still in the game's files, however, they're never really used in any galaxy, place, location, anything really. They're just sitting there doing absolutely nothing. And some of these are actually completely finished and functioning. So today we will take a look at the top 5 unused items seen in Super Mario Galaxy's files that should have actually been in the game. Well, according to me at least. Number 5. Now to start off, we will look at some sort of enemy or obstacle. I'm not really sure which one it is. It's called the flame gun and looks quite odd compared to everything else seen in the entire game. Now, despite looking like a marble statue, this fire-breathing pig is very much alive. It has animations for looking around, hopping in extreme excitement, and of course, leaning forward to shoot a stream of actual fire. It has a surprising amount of animation bones for a statue, and its ears will flop around as it moves its head about. Now, its shading style is actually very similar to a lot of other items, enemies, obstacles, and stuff that are found in the files, which are never used. But unlike them, all of the shading is done through vertex coloring rather than textures. Now, the enemy can still be spawned with hacking, of course, and it still functions to some degree. It continually cycles between looking around and blowing invisible fire. It never really moves from its spot or even reacts to Mario at all. However, if you actually walk towards it and touch it, for example, then Mario will react the exact same way he does to fire and lava, running around like a madman. Personally, I think it looks really cool and the animations actually look good, surprising enough. I'm not sure why they actually didn't include it as some sort of obstacle or enemy that Mario encounters in his journey. It would have been really cool to see. Odd, but still really cool. Number 4. Now the next thing we are going to look at is also some sort of stationary enemy. Now it has a bit of a weird name, but I will do my best to pronounce it. It's called Tsuki Dashi Kun Big. It looks very rough and certainly odd compared to everything else seen in Super Mario Galaxy. Just look at its face. The entire style seems to be inspired by stick figures. You know, those simple ones you would draw during class? Overall, I don't think it looks that good. However, it's certainly interesting to see. And all it is an unfinished, bigger version of a bomb. However, they are both exactly the same size. Not sure what Nintendo was doing here, but it was certainly strange. Number 3. Now for our next one, we actually won't be looking at some sort of stationary enemy or obstacle at all, because this is actually a weird looking floating piece of space rock. It's called the Meteor Container, and no, not Meteor, which you would expect. It's basically the original version of the Meteor model used in the game, sporting a unique and high quality texture, and in the files it exists under 2 names, Meteor Container and Rolling Rock. I'm not sure exactly what their plan was with this, but container makes me think about some sort of chest item, or that it could contain something like coins, power-ups, or something at least. And the Rolling Rock part reminds me a bit of Indiana Jones. It could be that the developers wanted a certain section where a gigantic meteor would roll down a hill and squish you if you weren't fast enough. However, we can't be certain about this, of course, so take it all with a grain of salt. Number 2. Now this next thing is also seen in the game, however, now it's a bit different and would have served a different purpose. It's called the Mecha Koopa Parts Rack A, and it's a copy of Mecha Bowser's left arm with all of the paint stripped off. The name indicates that it was meant to be part of the wreckage floating about after Mecha Bowser was destroyed. Now personally, I think it looks really good and it would have been quite cool actually to see this in the game. Sadly enough, it was never part of the wreckage that was actually seen in the final cut, which is a bit of a shame, because as you can see in this footage, it actually looks quite stunning. It could have added so much to the entire setting this level had after this final battle, but sadly enough, Nintendo decided to not include it. Number 1. Now we actually get to the very best thing that was left out of the game that should have been in it. Because this thing is so incredibly cool that it would have been a great addition to the entire game. I'm talking about the Jiraiya, a shiny bomb bearing Bowser's emblem. And unlike a lot of other things that we have covered so far and are found in this part of the files, this one is actually fully functional. Now what it basically does is trick you and take one of your lives, because it will explode if Mario steps on it or fires a star bit at it, and regenerate shortly afterwards. So it's basically a landmine of sorts. Now personally, this would have been a great addition and would have actually made use of star bits in a good and useful way, because in the final game you don't do a whole lot with them. And here they would be useful to actually trigger these explosives and get past them. However, in the end, Nintendo never really used them, scrapped them, even though they were completely finished and looked amazing, and so it was left there in the files, rotting away, never seeing the light of day. And this isn't the only thing Nintendo has ever thrown away. They've done this in so many games, and we've covered a lot of it. So check the upper right corner for more videos covering Super Mario Galaxy, Super Mario Galaxy 2, Sunshine, 64, and way more. Believe me, they are a lot of fun. But when it comes to this video, we have reached the end. A lot of items seen on this list work extremely well and could have added so much to the worlds and levels seen. However, Nintendo just wasn't satisfied enough with them, and so they ended up somewhere hidden away, deep within the files, never to be seen again. Thanks for watching, everybody. Be sure to check out those videos in the upper right corner and the ones on the screen right now. Also, be sure to subscribe and click the bell button so you won't miss anything. Also, I'm absolutely dying because it's currently 39 or 40 degrees in my room. Help.